Om Bhurбhuvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayantam. Saram everyone. So one more satsang on our beloved Swami Sri Sathya Sai, and today let's discuss a very unusual question about so-called spiritual names. For the Indian devotees, maybe this question is not so important because all Indians they have classical Sanskrit names like Shiva, Vishnu, Krishna, Ganesha, or Lakshmi, Durga, Kali, etc. But for the Westerners, it's a very important question because some Western Sai devotees, actually when we say Western Sai devotees, let us clarify what I mean. Of course, if somebody is from Germany, France, England, the United States, Australia, that's Western world. But maybe better to say not Westerners but foreigners, because there are many people who are Sai devotees and they're from China, South, of course, mostly South China, from Japan, from Russia, from South American countries, and it's not really Western countries, but foreigners. We come from different parts of the globe with the different cultures, with the different religious backgrounds. Some of us Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, and we have our names. My family name is Dubyansky. Normally people call me Dubyansky or Mr. Dubyansky. Actually, that's my family name. My first name is Svyatoslav, and I prefer to let people call me Dubyansky because it's just easier to pronounce. But actually, and quite number of foreigners, foreign Sai devotees, they wanted to receive a spiritual name from Swami, and that's interesting. Actually bunch of stories about so-called spiritual names. Let me remind you that I was translating. I was Sathya Sai translator for the Russian-speaking groups from different countries, including Russia, Ukraine, etc. And now I published 3 books in English with my memories about all that huge number of interviews. I can witness that Swami sometimes just rejected the necessity of so-called spiritual names. By the way, mostly he rejected. But sometimes he could give to somebody spiritual name. And I have quite few friends from Russia and Ukraine with so-called Sanskrit spiritual names given by Swami. But mostly he rejected. Why? His explanation was very deep, as usual actually. Sathya Sai is the divine incarnation, like Shirdi Sai, Sathya Sai, Prema Sai, triple Sai avatar. On the human level, we can say that Sathya Sai was born for the Hindu parents, and he was Hindu. But that's just human understanding of the situation. It's like, can we say that Krishna was Hindu? In a sense, yes. But he was universal, and you don't need to be Hindu to study, for example, Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. You don't need to be Hindu. You can just benefit out of that huge, great scriptures. Okay, Jesus was Jewish, but at the same time he was founder of great Christian religion, and you don't need to be Christian to study Bible, especially New Testament, Jesus message. The same with the Buddha. You don't need to be Buddhist to study Buddhist scriptures, Buddhist sutras, Buddhist philosophy. And how can we speak about connection between divine incarnation and certain religion or religious institution? What was the problem with the Jesus? Actually, that he was too great, too cosmic. He was really outside, beyond any religion. That's the reason why in the first century, Jewish leaders, rabbis, they misunderstood him. That was the problem. Of course, we can say that Sathya Sai was Hindu because he was born for the Hindu parents. And his ashram, Prashanti Nilayam, actually it's a Hindu ashram. Many foreigners, they're not clear about it. It's Hindu ashram. But Hindu ashram with the universal principles. This is why when you go, just walk through the different parts of Prashanti Nilayam ashram, you can easily see a statue of Buddha, statue of Jesus the Christ, statue of Prophet Zoroaster, statue of Krishna, statue of Ganesha, everything, universal. And of course we remember that Sathya Sai was celebrating in his ashram all classical Hindu festivals like, well, Shivaratri, Guru Purnima, Dasera, but also Chinese New Year. And Chinese New Year is a religious function, yeah. Okay, Buddha Purnima, so birthday of Buddha. Okay, Christmas, and also some festivals connected with the Sikh religion, Guru Nanak. And also I remember a couple of times he was celebrating in his ashram, Prashantilam, Jewish New Year, I remember. Okay, but the message, at least I understood it, because nobody can say that, I know what is the meaning of Sathya Sai philosophy. Nobody has a right to claim this. Even if I study Sathya Sai discourses carefully, even if I spent really 20 years in Puttaparthi, in the presence, in the holy presence of Sathya Sai, I can't say that I know his teaching. I may say that the way I understood it. And for sure, his message was universal. And he never converted people into other religions. Suppose if you're a Christian and you come to Sathya Sai ashram, nobody will convert you into Hindu religion. That was Sathya Sai principles. If you're Muslim, you remain as the Muslim. If you're Buddhist or Jewish or Jain or Sikh or Taoist, whatever religion you can belong to, you remain the part of this religion. And Sathya Sai was just blessed everyone to practice his or her traditional religion. And he helped me to understand my Christian religion. By the way, before I came to him, I was very far from Christian religion. I was, really neglecting all that Jesus and Bible. And after communicating with Sathya Sai, our beloved Swami, I became really much more Christian. I study Vedic scriptures seriously and Buddhist scriptures as well. Brahma Sutra, Adi Shankaracharya's scriptures like Viveka Chudamani or Upadesha Sahasri, different Upanishads, of course, Srimad Bhagavatam, that's my favorite scripture, Vedic scripture, but I remain as the Christian. You see, I like meditation, Kriya Yoga meditation and Bija mantras, and I not only practice but I teach people Kriya Yoga meditation, because my Kriya Yoga master, Yogi Ramek from Tamil Nadu. He blessed me and he gave me permission to teach people Kriya Yoga and Bija Mantra tradition. So the point is that if you change your name, you slightly change your religion. Not exactly that you change your religion, but it's like, 50-50. It's a very unusual situation. Because name connected with your religion. It's interesting that, I was born this lifetime in an Orthodox Christian family, and my grandparents were Christian priests. And in Orthodox Christianity, priests, they are family people. In Catholic Christianity, priests are monks. But for Orthodox Christianity, we have family priests. So for many generations, actually, I'm from priestly family. I'm not priest because of many reasons. I'm artist, I'm author, I'm esoteric master, but I'm not Christian priest. But my ancestors were. I believe that in my past lives, I was Hindu Brahmin, Buddhist practitioner, I was Sufi mystic, I was Muslim, I was Jewish. It's the same like with you. Suppose right now you can be Indian and Hindu. But just think, what about your previous 100 lives? Or previous at least 10 lives? Possible, everything. All religions. Yeah? Even male or female. Yeah? I know that in my past lives, sometimes I was male or female, like they know, and belonged to the different religions and the cultures. Okay, name. My name, Svyatoslav, my first name, it's actually not Christian. It's a pre-Christian, because in Russia it was Vedic tradition, pre-Christian Vedic tradition. Very interesting topic, by the way. And I have actually a pre-Christian name. Somehow it's happened. And I remember, like, it was a number of interviews, and when Swami was speaking about names and spiritual names, and mostly he rejected to give spiritual names for the foreigners because he wanted to support their own tradition. And he told to me personally, be careful, like, your name is Svyatoslav Dubyansky, he told me. Do not change your name, because that's your name. You have to respect your tradition, to respect your parents. And also it's a tricky thing, because sometimes people, both Westerners and Indians, they think that, I'm going to change my name. For example, you are Indian, and you have Indian name, but you become initiated into certain tradition, and you change your name. Oh, come on, and you can, by mistake, start to think that I got this spiritual name, means I transformed person. No connection between to change your name and to transform your consciousness. No connection. Come on. Transformation is a result of meditation, contemplation, proper life. Not, now I have Western dress. Suppose I go, next room, change my dress, and come back with all the Indian orange dress, for example. Nothing changed in my consciousness, just dress. And sometimes, anyway, Sathya Sai he gave actually to some of foreigners, Western devotees, Russians whom I know, spiritual Sanskrit names, because it was beneficial for certain people. So it was always personal approach. In all of my videos, I'm trying to push this idea. Guys, be careful. There is no any just Sathya Sai teaching, just Sathya Sai philosophy. Because I can witness that he was very much personal. to somebody, he could say that, okay, you have to get married, get children, go and get job, and then, okay, also practice meditation, but basically stay in a social life. Be socially proactive. But somebody else, the same Swami, could say, okay, you have to stay alone. Practice more like meditation, service, but do not mix with the social life, including family. That was always personal. That's very important. And when in this video we discussed the question of so-called spiritual names, that was always personal. And also, of course, quite often we think that spiritual name means Sanskrit name. But come on, it's not the point. Suppose if you are Muslim and you have a wonderful Muslim name, it's also spiritual. If you are Christian and you have a wonderful Christian name, it's also spiritual. So the spiritual name, it doesn't mean Sanskrit name. The mystery of receiving spiritual name, it's like part of initiation. And it's happened not only in Tantric tradition, Yogic tradition, all the branches of Shakti tradition, etc. It's happened also in Christian tradition as well, in a Buddhist tradition. If disciple, receiving initiation, master can give, or may give or may not, so-called next name. It means your master become your father or mother, also possible. So, very interesting. But I think that, generally speaking, Sathya Sai approach was subtle, very subtle. To transform, to achieve transformation, to transform your consciousness, your heart. You don't need to change your dress, t-shirt. You don't need to change your name. Of course, you don't need to change your religion. But you have to go deep into meditation, prayer, japa. Saram, see you next time.
Om Bhurбhuvasvaham Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayantam